Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you will shake the entire sports world to its core. Travis Hunter, the golden boy of college football, the face of a new generation, the young man many believed was destined to become a legend, is now at the center of a jaw-dropping scandal that has fans gasping, friends questioning their loyalty, and even his own family torn apart. We're talking about a $40 million disaster that no one saw coming. Imagine being at the top of your game, adored by millions, celebrated for your talent, and then boom, the rug gets pulled right from under you. Overnight, Travis Hunter has gone from living large to allegedly being broke, betrayed, and blindsided by people he once trusted. But here's where the story gets even wilder. Stephen A. Smith, the outspoken king of sports talk, has come forward and dropped some explosive truth bombs about what really went down behind closed doors. And trust me when I say, this you won't believe who's being accused of pulling the strings in this mess. The money, the lies, the betrayal, all comes crashing down right here, right now. Stay with me because this story only gets crazier. The cameras may not have been rolling when it all started, but the drama surrounding Travis Hunter could easily rival the most chaotic moments of any reality TV show. What began as a picture-perfect rise to fame has now spiraled into a storm of accusations, money trails, and emotional betrayals that no one could have predicted. Fans are still in disbelief, asking themselves, how could someone so talented, so disciplined, and so admired fall into such a mess? It all began when whispers started surfacing about Travis's finances. A few cryptic social media posts hinted at trouble, but no one paid them much attention. After all, this was Travis Hunter, the two-way superstar, the prodigy making history on the field. He was supposed to be untouchable. But then insiders began talking, and the whispers turned into roars. Word on the street was that nearly $40 million had mysteriously vanished, leaving Travis in financial ruins. The shocking part: those closest to him were accused of playing a role. Friends, business associates, and even family members, people who had been seen celebrating his success on yachts and private jets, were suddenly being pointed at as suspects in this downfall. One moment, they were smiling in pictures, raising champagne glasses to toast his future. And the next, they were accused of stabbing him in the back. Emotions ran high when the first reports broke. Fans flooded social media with posts like, how could this happen to Travis? And $40 million. That's not money. That's a whole empire gone. Many refused to believe it, insisting it had to be exaggerated gossip. But then, Stephen, a Smith known for never holding back his words, went live on his show and shook the sports world. I tried to warn y'all, he said, his tone sharp and dramatic. This is not just about football. This is not just about endorsements. This is about trust, betrayal, and a young man who has been left stranded because the people around him cared more about dollar signs than his well-being. With that statement, the floodgates opened. Suddenly, every sports commentator, every podcast host, every gossip site was dissecting what went wrong. Some claimed Travis's management team had signed shady deals behind his back. Others whispered about a family feud where certain relatives allegedly pushed him into risky investments behind the scenes. Travis was said to be devastated. Friends close to him described late-night phone calls filled with anger and confusion. He kept saying, how could they do this to me? I trusted them with everything, one anonymous friend revealed. He wasn't just talking about money. He was talking about love, about loyalty, about people he thought would be by his side forever. The betrayal hit harder because this wasn't just business. It was personal. His family, the very people who had cheered the loudest when he made history on the field, were now being accused of tearing apart his financial empire. Fans were shocked to learn that arguments had broken out during family dinners, with shouting matches so intense that some relatives walked out and never came back. One insider claimed it was like a soap opera. Everyone yelling, pointing fingers, crying, and Travis sitting there silent, like his whole world had crumbled. Stephen A. Smith, wasn't done either. He continued, "When you've got people who are supposed to love you, supposed to guide you, and instead they're out here making moves that cost you $40 million. That's not just a mistake, that's sabotage." His words echoed across social media, sparking heated debates. Was Travis naive? Was he betrayed? Or was this all just a misunderstanding blown out of proportion? And then came the first major twist. A leaked document surfaced online, allegedly, showing that Travis had signed off on one of the disastrous deals. Immediately, critics pounced, saying he knew what he was doing. He can't play the victim. But supporters rushed to defend him, arguing that he was too young and too trusting, signing whatever papers were handed to him without realizing the consequences. The family drama only grew messier. Some relatives took to social media to clear, their names posting long emotional messages about how they loved Travis and would never betray him. But fans weren't convinced. One cousin's post ended with, "Money changes people, but not me," which only fueled suspicion that guilt was being hidden behind carefully chosen words. In the middle of all this chaos, Travis reportedly isolated himself. Gone were the flashy Instagram posts, the big smiles, the celebratory dances after games. Instead, he disappeared from the spotlight, leaving fans worried. One fan tweeted, "It's like we lost the old Travis. He's there on the field, but his heart isn't in it anymore." The scandal began to seep into his performance. Commentators noticed he wasn't playing with the same fire. Analysts speculated that the mental weight of losing $40 million and the betrayal that came with it was crushing him. It's not just about money, one sports psychologist explained on a talk show. When trust is broken at this level, it affects every part of your life. You start questioning everyone and everything, and that shows up on the field. But just when everyone thought the story couldn't get more dramatic, another twist exploded into the headlines. Sources claimed that one of Travis's closest friends, the guy who had been by his side since high school, the friend who had shared hotel rooms and road trips, was accused of being the mastermind behind the shady deals. The betrayal was almost too much for fans to process. Social media erupted with posts like, "Not him, anyone but him, and that's the ultimate snake move." Rumors spread that Travis confronted this friend in a heated, tear-filled argument. Voices were raised, accusations were hurled, and at one point, someone allegedly punched a wall in pure rage. While no cameras captured the scene, witnesses described it as the kind of moment that scars you forever. By this point, the scandal had grown far beyond sports. mainstream news outlets picked it up. Late-night talk show hosts joked about it. And even celebrities outside the sports world chimed in. One singer tweeted, "Trust nobody when money's involved," while an actor posted, "Prayers up for." Travis' betrayal cuts deeper than loss. Still, questions hung in the air. How much of the $40 million was truly gone? Who exactly was responsible? And why did Travis seem so reluctant to speak publicly about it? The silence only added to the suspense. As the drama intensified, one thing became clear. This was no longer just about money. This was about trust, family, and survival. Travis Hunter was standing in the middle of a storm, surrounded by people he once trusted, unsure of who was truly on his side. And just when fans thought the betrayal couldn't cut any deeper, another shocking revelation was about to surface, one that would drag his already fractured family into an even darker spotlight. The shocking revelation that surfaced next turned the already messy situation into an all-out war. Whispers spread quickly that a member of Travis Hunter's own family, someone who had publicly defended him just days earlier, was actually deeply entangled in the financial scandal. Fans were stunned. One moment this relative was posting heartfelt words like, "We love you, Travis, we'll always stand by you." And the next, leaked emails suggested they were involved in secret meetings about it. The betrayal was almost cinematic. Fans online described it as the ultimate plot twist, comparing it to a cliffhanger ending on their favorite reality shows. One fan wrote, "I don't even watch sports, but this is better than half the drama on TV right now." Inside the Hunter household, emotions reportedly boiled over. An insider close to the family described a dinner where accusations flew across the table like daggers. Voices were raised, tears were shed, the insider claimed. One person slammed their glass on the table, another stormed out, and Travis just sat there in shock, like his whole family was crumbling right in front of him. Friends tried to console him, but even they seemed divided. Some believed the family member was guilty, while others swore it was all a misunderstanding. One friend allegedly told Travis, "Bro, you've got to cut them off before they destroy you completely." Another countered, "But they're blood, man. You don't walk away from family." Travis was caught in the middle, torn between loyalty and self-preservation. Fans were shocked to hear that his once close bond with this relative was now shattered, leaving him more isolated than ever. Stephen A. Smith weighed in again, his voice dripping with passion as he addressed the scandal. "This is bigger than football. When family turns on you for money, that's not just betrayal, that's devastation. Travis Hunter doesn't just have to recover financially, he has to recover emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And I don't know if he can do it surrounded by snakes." His words echoed across the internet, fueling debates that split fans into camps. Some sided with Travis, saying he was a victim of ruthless manipulation. Others argued he had to take responsibility for allowing those around him to handle his money unchecked. One viral post read, "Travis isn't a child. 40 million doesn't disappear without you knowing something's up." But the drama didn't stop there. As the family scandal spread, a shocking audio clip leaked online. In it, voices allegedly belonging to Travis and the accused relative could be heard in a heated argument. The relative's voice, trembling, with rage shouted, "I did this for us. You think I wanted to hurt you? Everything I did was to secure our future." Travis, his voice breaking, fired back, "Secure our future. You ruined me. You ruined everything." Fans couldn't get enough. Hashtags trended for days, dissecting every word of the leaked audio. Some sympathized with the relative, saying they might have been misguided, but not malicious. Others called it proof of ultimate betrayal, while the internet debated Travis reportedly sank deeper into despair. Close friends described him as withdrawn, barely eating, barely sleeping, consumed by anger and heartbreak. One insider said he kept replaying the audio clip over and over, like he was torturing himself. With the betrayal, meanwhile, his performance on the field suffered more. Commentators noted he seemed distracted, slower, less confident. "This isn't the same Travis Hunter we know." One announcer said during a game, "His head isn't here, and you can't blame him after everything he's going through." But just when fans thought the story had reached its emotional peak, another bombshell exploded, this time involving his best friend, the one already accused of shady dealings. A new report claimed this friend wasn't acting alone. Apparently, there was an entire circle of so-called loyalists around Travis, all benefiting from his success, all secretly plotting behind his back. The revelation hit fans like a tidal wave. So it wasn't just one snake, it was a whole pit of them. One user tweeted, "Travis never stood a chance." Rumors swirled that this group had been living lavishly off Travis's money, luxury cars, vacations, shopping sprees, all while convincing him it was for his brand, his image, his future. The betrayal wasn't just financial. It was emotional manipulation at its finest in one alleged confrontation. Travis reportedly broke down in tears, screaming, "You were supposed to be my brother, not my enemy." His former best friend, allegedly, replied coldly, "You wouldn't be who you are without us. Don't forget that." Witnesses said the tension was unbearable. It's like watching a family completely implode in real time. Stephen A. Smith once again took the stage, delivering a monologue. So fiery, it went viral within hours. This is what happens when you let the wrong people into your circle. Travis Hunter was a target the moment he made history. $40 million doesn't just vanish, it's taken. And it was taken by people he trusted the most. I don't care what excuses they make, betrayal is betrayal. Fans replayed his rant over and over, using his words as fuel for debates online. Some fans begged Travis to cut everyone off and start fresh. Others insisted he should fight back legally, sue everyone involved, and reclaim his fortune. But the chaos only deepened. Reports surfaced that Travis was considering walking away from football entirely, overwhelmed by the weight of the scandal. He's broken, one source said. It's not just about the money. It's about realizing your whole world was built on lies. The thought of Travis giving up on football shook fans to their core. If this takes him off the field, I'll never forgive the people who did this to him. One supporter tweeted, "Then came perhaps the most heartbreaking twist of all. Travis's mother, who had stayed silent throughout the ordeal, finally broke down publicly. In a tearful interview, she said, 'My son doesn't deserve this. I trusted people, and they used him. All he ever wanted was to take care of his family, to give us a better life. And now look what's happened.'" Her words left fans devastated, sparking a new wave of sympathy for Travis. But even her emotional plea raised questions. Some critics claimed she, too, had benefited from his money and wasn't completely innocent. The family's image was collapsing in real time, and no one knew who to believe anymore. As the dust settled from this round of revelations, one thing was certain: the Hunter family was fractured, friendships were destroyed, and the empire that once seemed untouchable was in ruins. Fans were left wondering if Travis could ever recover, both financially and emotionally. But little did anyone know, the most explosive twist was still waiting in the shadows. A twist that would drag not just his family and friends into the spotlight, but also major corporations and powerful figures who had once celebrated Travis as their golden boy. When news broke that major corporations and powerful figures were about to be dragged into the scandal, the entire story reached a new level of chaos. What had started as a family drama now had the potential to shake the entire sports and business world. Fans who thought they had seen the worst were left stunned, as new leaks suggested that some of the biggest brands in the country may have turned a blind eye while millions disappeared from Travis Hunter's empire suddenly. This wasn't just about betrayal at home or snakes in his inner circle. This was about corporate giants, endorsement deals, and contracts worth more than most people could imagine. Insiders claimed that Travis had been pushed into signing agreements that were designed to fail. Agreements that benefited the companies more than they ever benefited him. This is how the game works. One anonymous source said, "Young athletes are sold dreams, told they'll be legends, but behind the scenes the contracts are loaded with traps." Travis was set up from the start. The revelations hit like a bomb. Fans flooded social media with outrage. Posts read, "So it wasn't just his family. It was the corporations too." And this is bigger than Travis. This is about the whole system exploiting young athletes. Stephen A. Smith wasted no time jumping into the fire. On live television, he leaned forward, his voice sharp, almost shaking with anger. "Listen to me when I say this. Travis Hunter is not just a victim of betrayal by those closest to him. He is a victim of an industry that has been exploiting young black men for decades. This isn't just about $40 million. This is about power, greed, and manipulation at the highest level." His words sent shockwaves across the country. Fans cheered, others debated, and corporate executives scrambled to release carefully worded statements denying any wrongdoing. But the damage was already done. The public was convinced that something bigger was at play, something sinister, as if that wasn't enough. New rumors began circulating about a secret meeting between Travis and representatives of one of his biggest sponsors. Allegedly, he confronted them directly, demanding answers about where his money had gone. Witnesses described the meeting as explosive. One source said Travis was furious. He slammed his hand on the table and shouted, "You used me, you bled me dry. All those commercials, all those campaigns, and you knew I was losing everything." The corporate reps allegedly tried to calm him down, insisting it was all a misunderstanding, that everything was by the book. But Travis wasn't having it. According to the insider, he stormed out of the meeting vowing to expose everyone who had played a role in his downfall. Fans couldn't get enough of the drama. Hashtags like #JusticeForTravis and #CorporateGreed trended for days. But behind the excitement was genuine heartbreak. People saw Travis as more than an athlete. Now he was a symbol of what happens when dreams collide with betrayal and greed. The betrayal cut even deeper when details emerged about how corporations allegedly used Travis's inner circle to manipulate him. Some reports suggested that brand executives worked directly with his so-called friends to convince him to sign contracts he didn't fully understand. They played him from both sides, one insider claimed. His friends told him to trust the companies, and the companies told him to trust his friends. He never stood a chance. Travis's fans were furious, but they weren't the only ones. Other athletes began speaking up, sharing their own stories of shady deals and financial manipulation. One retired player tweeted, "This is nothing new. Travis is just the latest victim of a system that eats its own." Another said, "The real scandal isn't Travis. The real scandal is the industry." Amid the growing outrage, Travis reportedly began plotting his next move. Some insiders claimed he was considering legal action, not just against his friends and family, but against major corporations. He's tired of being quiet, one source revealed. He wants to fight back, and if he does, a lot of powerful people are going to be exposed. But this decision wasn't easy. Travis was said to be battling inner demons, questioning whether he had the strength to take on giants. In one emotional conversation with a close confidant, he allegedly said, "I don't even know who I am anymore. They took everything from me, my money, my trust, my peace. How do I even start to fight back?" His confidant responded, "You start by remembering who you are. You're Travis Hunter. You're not just a player, you're a fighter." The emotional toll was immense. Friends described Travis as a shadow of his former self, alternating between rage and despair. One day he'd be ready to take on the world, the next he'd lock himself away. Unable to face the reality of his situation, the Hunter family drama also intensified. As corporations were dragged into the scandal, some family members doubled down on defending themselves, claiming they too had been manipulated by outside forces. But fans weren't buying it. The Hunter name had become synonymous with betrayal, and trust was gone. And then, in yet another jaw-dropping twist, a leaked memo suggested that one of the corporations involved had quietly paid off members of Travis's inner circle to keep him under control. True, this was not just betrayal, it was corruption on a massive scale. The memo sparked outrage like never before. Fans were livid, demanding accountability, demanding justice. Late-night talk shows had a field day, comparing the scandal to a crime drama. Memes flooded the internet, but beneath the jokes was a sense of genuine anger and sadness for Travis. Stephen, a Smith, never one to stay silent, delivered yet another passionate speech. "Ladies and gentlemen, what we are witnessing is the systematic destruction of a young man's life. Travis Hunter trusted the wrong people. Yes, but more importantly, the industry preyed on his trust. If we don't stand up for him now, then when? How many more young men have to lose everything before we say enough is enough?" His fiery words reignited the movement. Fans rallied behind Travis louder than ever before. But the question still, Lingered? Was it too late? Had the damage already been done? Through all the noise, Travis remained silent publicly. But insiders claimed he was preparing a shocking statement, one that would shake the entire industry to its core. "He's ready to speak," a source whispered. "And when he does, the truth will destroy everything." The suspense was unbearable. Fans waited, speculating about what Travis might reveal. Would he name names? Would he expose contracts? Would he call out family members and corporations directly? Just as anticipation reached a fever pitch, another revelation broke this time, involving someone even more shocking. Rumors swirled that a beloved sports legend, someone Travis had idolized growing up, is connected to the scandal in ways no one expected. The betrayal wasn't just coming from friends, family, or corporations anymore. Now, a figure Travis once looked up to as a hero was being accused of having ties to the chaos. And with that, the drama reached yet another cliffhanger, leaving fans gasping, desperate to know how much darker the story could get, and how Travis Hunter could possibly survive the storm. The revelation that a beloved sports legend was allegedly tied to the scandal sent shockwaves through the sports community. Fans who had grown up idolizing this figure felt betrayed, almost as if their own childhood memories had been stolen. Whispers turned into full-blown speculation. When documents hinted at behind-the-scenes deals linking the legend to the corporations accused of exploiting Travis Hunter, the betrayal stung even deeper for Travis. This wasn't just another business partner or a family member. This was someone he had looked up to his entire life, someone who had mentored him in his early years, someone he once described as the reason I believe I can be great. The thought that this figure might have profited while Travis lost everything was almost too much to bear. Fans erupted online. One tweet read, "If this legend is really involved, I'm done. My heart can't take it." Another said, "First, family, then friends, then corporations, and now his hero." Travis's life is literally a tragedy unfolding before our eyes. Sources close to Travis revealed that he felt completely shattered. He told me, "I don't even know who to trust anymore. If my hero let me down, then who's left?" One insider said, "It's broken in ways I've never seen before." Reports claimed that Travis confronted the legend in a private meeting. What was supposed to be a calm conversation allegedly turned into a fiery showdown. Witnesses described Travis's voice shaking with rage as he demanded answers. "Did you know what they were doing to me? Did you take their money while I was drowning?" he reportedly shouted. The legend, visibly emotional, allegedly responded, "You don't understand the pressures. I never meant to hurt you." But Travis wasn't buying it. "You were supposed to protect me," he said, tears streaming down his face. "You were supposed to be different." Witnesses claimed the meeting ended with Travis walking out, slamming the door behind him, leaving the legend slumped in silence. The leaked details of that confrontation spread like wildfire. Fans debated endlessly. Some insisted the legend must have been misunderstood, caught in the crossfire of a messy system. Others declared their hero's legacy forever tarnished. Hashtags with the legend's name trended alongside Travis's, uniting fans in outrage and heartbreak. Stephen A. Smith, once again, delivered a blistering monologue that set the internet ablaze. Ladies and gentlemen, let me be clear. If what we are hearing is true, then the betrayal of Travis Hunter is not just personal, it is generational. It means the very people who were supposed to pave the way, the people who were supposed to shield him from the sharks, became sharks themselves. And I, for one, will not stand by and watch this young man be devoured. His words lit a fire under fans and media alike. Talk shows debated the morality of heroes falling from grace. Podcasts dissected every detail, every leaked document, every alleged quote. Fans wept openly online, saying they felt like they lost not just Travis, but their faith in the heroes they once admired. But in the middle of the chaos, something unexpected began to happen. Travis, after weeks of silence, finally decided to take control of his own narrative. Insiders claimed he gathered his closest supporters, those few people. He still believed Enon began planning a public statement that would leave no stone unturned. He's ready to expose everything. One confidant revealed: names, contracts, deals, betrayals. He's done being quiet. He wants the truth out, no matter how ugly it is. Anticipation built like never before. Fans counted down. The days, the hours, waiting for Travis's announcement. When the moment finally arrived, millions tuned in live. Travis appeared on screen looking tired but determined. His eyes carried the weight of everything he had endured, but his voice was steady. "I've been betrayed by people I loved, by people I trusted, by people I admired," he began. $40 million is gone. My friendships, my family bonds, my faith in this industry, they've all been tested in ways I never imagined. But I'm here today to say one thing: I will not be broken. Fans erupted in support. His statement continued with Travis carefully, laying out how his inner circle manipulated him, how corporations preyed on his youth and ambition, and how even his hero was not immune to greed. "This is not just my story," he said. "This is the story of countless athletes who came before me. And if I stay silent, it will be the story of countless athletes after me. I won't let that happen." The speech was raw, emotional, and powerful. Fans described it as the moment Travis turned pain into power. Hashtags of support flooded timelines. Even celebrities joined in, praising his courage. But while fans cheered, the fallout was immediate. Corporations scrambled to distance themselves, issuing statements of denial. Family members posted defensive messages, some even threatening legal action. The sports legend at the center of the scandal released a vague statement, saying, "There are always two sides to a story," which only fueled the fire. Through it all, Travis seemed stronger. Friends described him as finally finding his voice, finally reclaiming control over his life. "He's not the same broken kid from a few weeks ago," one friend said. "He's rising from the ashes." But questions lingered. Could he recover? Financially? Would he ever trust again? Could his career survive the weight of such scandal? And perhaps the most haunting question of all, would the truth he exposed lead to real change? Or would it simply be forgotten as the next scandal took center stage? The answers weren't clear, but one thing was certain. Travis Hunter's story had become bigger than football, bigger than fame, bigger than money. It had become a cautionary tale about trust, loyalty, and the devastating cost of betrayal. And yet, even with the world watching, the drama wasn't entirely over. Rumors swirled of lawsuits looming, secret recordings still unreleased, and allies turned enemies plotting their next moves. Fans held their breath, wondering if the storm had truly passed or if the worst was still to come. As one commentator put it best, Travis Hunter may have lost $40 million, but what he gained is something money can't buy: his voice, his truth, and the power to expose the darkness that hides behind the bright lights of sports. And with that, the curtains seemed to close on one of the most shocking, heartbreaking, and unforgettable scandals the sports world had ever seen. But for Travis Hunter, the final chapter was yet to be written. And so, as the dust settles on this whirlwind of betrayal, heartbreak, and shocking revelations, one question remains: why does Travis Hunter go from here? Fans are still divided, emotions are still raw, and the truth continues to ripple through every corner of the sports world. He may have lost $40 million. He may have been betrayed by family, friends, corporations, and even a childhood hero, but one thing has become clear: Travis Hunter refuses to stay silent. The story is far from over. Lawsuits may follow, hidden recordings might surface, and enemies could strike back. The family remains fractured. Corporations are scrambling, and fans are left wondering if this is the beginning of a revolution in how young athletes protect themselves, or just another scandal that will eventually fade into memory. But for now, Travis's journey has become bigger than just football. It's about resilience, about fighting back when the odds are stacked against you, and about exposing the painful truth that not everyone who smiles in your face has your best interests at heart. So now I turn it over to you. What do you think? Is Travis Hunter a victim of betrayal, or should he take responsibility for trusting the wrong people? Will he rise from the ashes stronger than ever, or has this scandal left scars too deep to heal? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear from you. And if you were glued to every twist and turn of this story, make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss the next explosive update. Because trust me, in a drama this intense, the next chapter could break at any moment.